Hey guys, it's Hailey, Sani, and today I'm going to be talking about my nose. A few things before we start. I'm actually not in LA. I'm not home. I'm staying in an Airbnb in Athens at the moment. And coincidentally, they have the same bed as me. Also, I have a very bad cold and I was gonna put off filming this until I feel better, or at least sound normal, but I just couldn't wait anymore because my Instagram comments are blowing up. I just want to talk to you guys as if I'm talking to like a friend, like you're my friend sitting across from me and we're having a conversation. You might say some things, I don't know if I'll be able to hear them, but you guys can just listen and play along. I originally wasn't planning on filming this video. I just felt like this topic is so personal that it's not something that everybody should be comfortable sharing with other people. And also I just feel like it doesn't really deserve all the attention it gets on mainstream social media. So that's why I was kind of putting it off. I was like, this is a part of my life. This is something that's very personal and private to me. But at the same time, I feel like it's a great video to film just because in the past I've done so many like self-confidence, body positivity types of videos that I feel like it would be wrong if I just ignored the situation, ignored all your guys' questions, and just acted like nothing happened because something did happen. It's not a huge thing where people should be freaking out about it. I'm not gonna be aggressive or self-protective in this video at all. I'm talking to you like you're my friend. I'm completely vulnerable at the moment. I'm not trying to set up a blockade to like protect myself from everybody's hits. I'm completely open right now. My barriers are down, and that's how I want the nature of this video to be. Okay, so I posted a picture, I'll insert it right here, and you could clearly see that my nose looked different. And I was so scared posting it just because I thought I was just gonna be bombarded with hate in the comments. And it wasn't hate at all. A lot of people questioned me and was like, did you get a nose job? Like, a lot of people thought I photoshopped that picture and they were like, okay, like we know that's not what your nose looks like why would you photoshop your nose for a picture? And I was like, well, that's really funny because it's like, you think I'm a James Charles? Like, I'm not good at that. A lot of people were really sweet to me and really kind, and that's definitely something that I didn't imagine would happen at all. Like, thinking about it and thinking what people's reactions would be, I was always just like, people are gonna hate me, they're gonna like unsubscribe, unfollow, never want to see my face again. And it's, now that I think about it, it's stupid that I thought that way just because it's such a minor personal detail that shouldn't have any effect on anybody else. Even though they weren't hate comments, some people were like, well, I'm confused. You're just contradicting what you said in the past. And that's when I got excited. This wasn't like an overnight decision that happened. I feel like this has been like, not a journey. Like, I'm not trying to make this dramatic, like being like my nose journey. Like, that's stupid. But it's like, kind of been on the back of my mind for maybe years now. It wasn't like a teenage moment where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go get plastic surgery today. Like, that's what I feel like let's go. I kind of kept all of this to myself, or maybe like among friends and family, but for the most part it was all in my own head. So you guys haven't heard my side of this journey, and that's why I was excited to talk about this with you guys, because it's something that I've never been 100% open with, and I think what I'm gonna say will help a lot of you guys and definitely answer all those questions that I got in the comments being like, you're just a basic bitch, like you just want to be like everybody else, like you told us that you were all for like embracing yourself, but you just got yourself changed just like any other fake Instagram. I got not a lot actually, just a few comments like that. I totally get where those comments are coming from. I'm not gonna like attack you guys for saying those things to me, because if someone I looked up to and someone I took advice from kind of looked like they were contradicting themselves and did something completely the opposite direction, I would also be hurt and confused. But like I said, it was just an Instagram picture. It wasn't the whole story. So that's what this video is going to be about. Okay, I'm going to take it back, like back all the way. Like, some of you guys might remember this, but I filmed this video called How to Be Beautiful, and it kind of went viral. A lot of people watched it. That's how my channel kind of like started getting known among people, because I was so genuine in that video. Like, everything on my mind that I felt about like physical appearance, confidence, positivity, like body acceptance, like everything that I felt in that moment, I was so like blunt about. A lot of people liked that, and it helped so many people. I was overflooded with positive comments and just people thanking me for that video, and that's when I was like, I love talking about this topic and I'm gonna make it something that happens a lot on my channel. So over the years, I've always talked about loving yourself. And when I first made that video, even though, you know, like when you give advice to people and then you're like, I don't even take this advice myself. I made that video because in the back of my mind, I was trying to convince my own self that what I was saying was completely right and that I should be following it. But I hadn't reached that point myself yet. I was only like 14, 15 at the time, and I was talking about how you should like accept your insecurities because they're a part of who you are, and instead of hating them, you should learn to love them. And my insecurity was always my nose. I hated it. Like when I was 14, 15, I absolutely hated it. I wanted it to change so bad, and it never was because I got bullied for it. Like no one around me like gave me shit about my nose. It was just like something that I had inflicted upon myself. Like I hated it. I looked in the mirror and I was like, I don't like my nose. And in that video I was just like telling you guys like you should love every part of yourself. But here I was like behind the scenes just not doing that myself. But that doesn't mean I was just like lying and being like, you should love yourself and the inside, hate myself, like nothing like that. I was just trying to get there, and saying it out loud and making videos like that was helping me too. I was being my own mentor too. I was trying to get myself out of that like really sad, like negative place in my life too. And over the years, I did start accepting myself. I'm a big energy person, so other people's energies, my energy that I put out into the world, I always know that it comes back to me. So instead of thinking in that negative mindset, I would always just be like, whatever, we're gonna have to live with it. I learned to make fun of myself. I learned to love myself. I learned to criticize myself, but not take it offensively. And it wasn't an easy journey. It was definitely something that took years. Like 14-year-old me versus 17-year-old me, I'm just so proud of the person that 17-year-old me became, because by the time I was 17, I loved myself, and not in a way where like people think loving yourself is cocky or arrogant, but I was not like that. I was just so confident in myself. I loved myself. I was spreading positive energy for the most part, and I was confident in my appearance. I post Instagram pictures almost every day, like selfies where my face is up there in front of the camera and they're not edited. You can go on my Instagram right now. I would put myself out there to people just because I didn't care what other people thought. I learned that I don't care if you don't like my nose. I don't like it either, and I can still live with that. Like I can still be confident and happy even if there's an insecurity that like, it wasn't even an insecurity anymore. It got to a point where I was just so like happy and at this like zen point in my life where I didn't give a f what other people thought of me. I didn't give a f if you don't like my face, because guess what? I like my face. I like myself. I feel like I sound cocky because that's what like we're made to believe. Like you can't say you love yourself. Bitch, I love the fuck out of myself. People realize that. And once I started like spreading all this positivity around me, I attracted people like that. Like some of my closest friends, like we have this thing where it's like this little cute little Instagram wall at this like Kasakai pop-up event that we saw, and it was like stay close to people that feel like sunshine. And me and my friend Nikki, we have this thing where like we're so close because we both feel like sunshine. And then my nose just became something I was like annoyed with. I don't know how to say it because like I definitely cared about it. Like I still would look in the mirror and be like, oh my god, my nose is so ugly like back then. But I was not obsessed with it. I could still feel myself and I don't know, like put on makeup, dress up, or not put on makeup, put on a hoodie and still feel myself, still be on my selfie game, still be like rocking it. Not like I truly got to a point where I was so just happy. And guess what? That really hasn't changed. So like my nose kind of just became something I was annoyed with. At that point, that's when I truly realized that getting my nose changed, how do I say this? I was like, could I fix this real quick? Like, not that it would change my life and I'd like love myself all of a sudden, and I was just so insecure and like hung up on it that like it had to happen. But I was like, okay, like this is annoying. Like, can I like change it? It was crooked to this side. It was literally like going that way. Plastic surgery or like rhinoplasty was always like something that I thought about, but it was never really like a reality. And then one day I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like talk to a plastic surgeon. Not because like I was determined on getting it done, but just to have an idea of things. So I hit one up, hit one up, like, hey dude, what's up? I reached out to one, and then he took a look at my nose and he was like, you actually have a deviated septum, so if you got your nose fixed, you could also breathe better. And I was like, what the frick? I never knew that about myself. Like, I never thought I had breathing problems. Like, I thought I was fine. But he was like, but if you don't get it fixed, it's not like a medical emergency that you need to absolutely get fixed. It's like not that severe, but if you were to do it, you would just breathe better. And I was like, okay, wait. So this was kind of like the thing that made me gain a more realistic perspective on like a potential operation. So I thought about it and I was like, okay, you know, it's kind of annoying. Like, I just don't like it there. It doesn't like affect who I am at all. Changing my nose wouldn't really affect the way I viewed myself. It was just something I was annoyed with, and I was like, maybe I should just get it fixed. They did another checkup, and then they also found out that I had this like extra meat, like, it's not meat, it's not like freaking like cooked steak, filet mignon in my nose, but a nasal piece of freaking meat in my nose. Like, I don't know how to say it, but basically something that was in my nose, and he was like, if you get this removed, you'll also breathe better. I was like, I didn't know I had that either. He literally like stuck cameras at my nose and was like looking at shit, and he was like, yeah, as you can see, your bone is deviated that way, and like it was on camera. And I was like, whoa, like I don't know, the inside of my nose looked like that. So then I was like, okay, let's do it, let's get it fixed. So I'm not trying to blame all of this on medical, because it wasn't like it was a medical emergency. It was like aesthetic and medical purposes. I guess it came down to my decision. So I'm not gonna be one of those YouTubers that's like, I had to get it fixed because like my doctor said I wouldn't be able to breathe and I'd die. Like, no. It was my decision. It was also non-surgical, you could say, because it was a closed operation. So they didn't like cut my nose, open up the skin, break my bone, none of that. They just literally like, obviously I'm not a plastic surgeon, I don't really know. And then they just stuck something in my nose and like shaved off. I'm so good at like describing all this, the medical procedure. They just like shaved off the extra bone. I don't know, in the title plastic surgery is kind of in quotes because it wasn't like real surgery where they cut me open and then had to stitch it back up. No plastic was inserted into my nose. It's still my own bone. It's like, this is like all my nose. Deviation was fixed, and then like the crookedness was like shaved off. If you want to contact my doctor on what exactly happened, I'll leave his Instagram down below. If you actually do get surgery from him, he's really good. And a lot of people were asking me, how did you recover so fast? And that's the reason. It wasn't a head-on like surgery. I healed in a week. Like, my bandages came off in a week, and I didn't have like crazy bruising. I literally had like 2 little dots, and they went away in like 3-4 days. And it's been like 2.5 weeks, and I feel like I'm completely I'll never feel completely normal because obviously something was done there. Correction, I actually will feel completely normal from 6 months to a year. That's what my doctor said. This isn't what my nose is gonna look like forever either. Like the tip, it's gonna come down. It's not gonna be so like elevated. That's just because of the surgery right now. I think there's also stitches like right here to make it look elevated, but it's gonna come down. Also, like this side is swollen right now. Also, I'm congested, so it like kind of is more swollen than it already was. Like every day my nose changes. What I really wanted to like shine a light on was after my surgery and after my bandages were removed and I took a look at my new nose, like I didn't feel a peak in my confidence. Like I didn't look at myself and I was like, oh my god, I look so much better now. Or I wasn't like, wow, like I'm a new person, like I can go on photo shoots. Like I still felt like who I was before my surgery, and that's what made me really proud. Even before my surgery, I had gotten to a point where I was just like so satisfied, not just with my physical appearance, but like with my frequency and like with my vibes, like with my confidence. Getting this done didn't change that. Like I'm less annoyed with my nose because it's not crooked. And also, I didn't know you could, okay, technically like right now I have a cold, so I can't breathe the best, but like after my bandages were removed and everything, my breathing got so much better, and I didn't know that's how normal people were supposed to breathe. Like I thought I was a normal breather, but apparently like my breathing wasn't as good as like the average person. I didn't know that. I only figured that out. I realized like, oh my god, this is how I was supposed to be breathing for the past 17 years. That was also really cool that I could like take a big deep breath. I guess I could do that before, but like it just got better, if you know what I mean. Right now I can't take a deep breath because I'm so congested, I have a cold. But as I was saying, after my surgery I didn't feel, I don't know, I just still felt like me. I didn't gain like more confidence. I guess I'd already gone to a point where I was happy with myself. I'd made peace with who I am. I didn't hate myself. I don't know, that made me proud of myself because it wasn't an easy journey, and for me this was just like, I don't know, it wasn't even that big of a deal because it didn't like change how I felt about myself. So when all those people were commenting on my Instagram being like, you're just like everybody else, you hated yourself and you had to do this in order to like love yourself, it made me sad because I really wanted them to like hear what I'm saying right now. I think if you want to get plastic surgery in the future, that's totally fine, but before you do, just make sure this plastic surgery doesn't define how you feel about myself. I didn't let it define how I felt about myself. Like, I loved myself before and I love myself now. I'm the same girl that talked about loving and embracing your flaws. I still have them. So yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video. I hope it wasn't too long and I didn't bore you guys. If you want me to film like a video about my actual nose job and the step-by-step, my recovery and like the process of getting a nose job, maybe that's for another video, but in this video, I just wanted to talk about how I felt, like the reasoning and all those things. And I hope I could make some things clear for you guys. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. All you guys were so nice to me about it. I truly don't even think I deserve all the love I get from you guys. And I want you guys to know that I see every single comment, like every single comment I read, and it affects me, and I'm a real person too, if it's good or bad. So yeah, I just want you guys to know that before you maybe like want to comment something. And I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.